As the DJI Mini 5 Pro hovers high above the Mojave's cracked earth, its gimbal tilting to reveal a vast, sun-bleached skeleton of concrete and steel, we begin our descent into the forgotten kingdom of Lake Dolores Waterpark, 251 acres of desert silence just off Interstate 15 in Newberry Springs, California. From this altitude, the park looks like a surreal maze. Empty canals that once carried rivers of chlorinated joy, now dry veins etched into the sand. Towering slide supports standing like ancient monoliths, and the faint outline of a massive heart-shaped lagoon that hasn't held water in over 2 decades. This is no ordinary ruin. This is America's first water park, a pioneer of splash and scream. Born in 1962 from the dreams of a local entrepreneur named Bob Byers. Byers, a businessman with a love for the open road and the open sky, originally built the park as a private retreat for his family. He named it after his wife, Dolores, and filled a natural spring-fed pond with bumper boats, picnic tables, and simple wooden slides. Word spread quickly along Route 66, the lifeblood of mid-century travel. Truckers, vacationing families, and Vegas-bound gamblers all pulled off the dusty highway, drawn by billboards promising cool fun in the hot sun. By the mid-1960s, Lake Dolores had evolved into a full-fledged public water park, complete with a lazy river, high-speed body slides, inner tube chutes, and even a zip line that soared over the main lagoon. It wasn't Disneyland, but it didn't need to be. In the relentless 110-degree heat of the Mojave, this was paradise, an old-fashioned swimming hole with a modern twist, as Byers proudly advertised. Children shrieked as they plunged down the Big Bopper slide. Parents floated in shaded cabanas, and the smell of hot dogs and sunscreen hung thick in the air. For nearly 2 decades, Lake Dolores thrived as a roadside oasis. It was a place where memories were made in the splash of a wave pool, the squeal of wet tires on concrete, and the thrill of racing a sibling down twin flumes. But by the early 1980s, the cracks began to show, literally and figuratively. Newer, flashier water parks sprang up closer to the coast. Six Flags introduced roller coasters with water elements. Vegas resorts built climate-controlled indoor pools. Attendance dwindled. Maintenance costs soared. The pumps that once kept the lagoons crystal blue now strained against sand and neglect. In 1983, after 21 years of operation, Bob Byers made the painful decision to close the gates. The laughter stopped. The water was drained, and Lake Dolores slipped into a long, silent sleep beneath the desert sun. For over a decade, the park decayed in plain sight. Palm trees withered. Paint peeled in long, curling strips. Vandals smashed windows and tagged the ticket booths. The once proud slides became perches for ravens. Then, in 1998, a group of investors saw potential in the bones of the old park. They pumped millions into a full-scale revival, rebranding it Rockahula Water Park, a retro 1950s-themed splash zone complete with chrome diner facades, jukebox music piping through hidden speakers, and the world's longest lazy river, a 1,000-foot looping canal lined with neon signs and vintage cars frozen mid-cruise. The slides were repainted in candy colors. A wave pool roared back to life. A new hula stage hosted live bands on summer nights. For a brief, shining moment, Rockahula recaptured the magic. Families returned. Teenagers Instagrammed their first upside-down drops. Well, as much as you could in 1999. The park even landed a feature on the Travel Channel. But fate, it seems, had other plans. In the summer of 1999, an after-hours employee event turned tragic. A staff member, sliding down one of the park's tallest chutes after closing, suffered a catastrophic spinal injury. The resulting lawsuit awarded $4.4 million, more than the park's annual revenue. Insurance rates skyrocketed. Investors panicked. By 2000, Rockahula filed for bankruptcy. The neon went dark. The jukebox fell silent. The lazy river once again ran dry. Yet the story refused to end. In 2002, another group of dreamers stepped in. They renamed it Discovery Waterpark, stripped away the 1950s theme, and installed modern attractions. A speed slide with a 60-foot vertical drop, a toddler splash zone with bubbling geysers, and an expanded arcade glowing with neon and ticket-spewing games. Marketing campaigns flooded local radio. Billboards screamed, "Rediscover the fun." For 2 fleeting seasons, the park pulsed with life again. Birthday parties, church groups, school field trips. But the damage was done. The lawsuits had scared away insurers. The desert heat warped plastic. Attendance never recovered. By mid-2004, Discovery Waterpark closed for good. The final lock clicked shut. The final light went out. Switch now to our FPV drone as it dives low and fast through the skeletal remains of the Big Bopper slide tower. Rusted rebar exposed like ribs. Graffiti blooming in electric blues and violent reds. RIP Summer 99. We were here, gone but not forgotten. The drone banks hard left, skimming the bone-dry bed of the lazy river where inner tubes once drifted in lazy circles. Now, only dust devils spin. We cut to on-the-ground footage, boots crunching over shattered glass in the abandoned Lazy River Cafe. Its checkered floor tiles cracked like a dried lake bed. The soda fountain is a twisted metal sculpture. Arcade machines lie gutted, their screens spider-webbed, wires spilling like entrails. A faded mural of a smiling cartoon shark still grins from the wall, teeth bright against decades of soot. In 2018, arson claimed what time had spared. Flames devoured the main pavilion, the ticket office, and much of the central plaza. Firefighters watched from a distance. There was no water pressure left to fight it. Today, charred beams jut skyward like the ribs of a fallen giant. The wave pool, once a roaring ocean of whitecaps, is now a concrete bowl where local skateboarders have built wooden ramps and grind rails. On weekends, you can hear the scrape of urethane wheels and the clatter of boards echoing off empty lifeguard stands. The Bumper Boat Lagoon, a graveyard of fiberglass hulls, half buried in sand, their cartoon eyes staring blankly at the sky. There are no fences, no trespassing signs that anyone respects. Urban explorers, photographers, and drone pilots wander freely through the ruins. Some come for the thrill, others for the photos. Sunsets bleeding orange through the slide towers, stars wheeling above the empty lagoon. Graffiti artists have turned the park into an open-air gallery. Massive murals of mermaids, lowriders, and apocalyptic desert scenes cover every flat surface. One wall bears a single word in dripping red: dreams. And yet, the story may not be over. In 2021, San Bernardino County approved plans to resurrect Lake Dolores as a mixed-use resort. A new 30-acre lake, 500 RV sites, glamping pods, a revived water park with modern slides, and even a wedding venue overlooking the lagoon. By August 2025, revised permits were granted, and earth movers were spotted on site, clearing debris, grading land, laying the first pipes for what could be a new water system. Investors speak of solar-powered pumps, LED-lit night slides, and eco-friendly filtration. They promise a rebirth of the desert oasis. But as our drone ascends one final time, pulling back to reveal the full 251-acre footprint, slide towers silhouetted against a blood-red sunset, palm shadows stretching like fingers across the sand. The silence is deafening. No music, no screams, no splash of water against concrete, just the low hum of rotors and the whisper of wind through rusted metal. Lake Dolores Waterpark is gone, but in the cracks of its broken slides, in the echo of a child's laugh carried on the desert breeze, in the flicker of a drone light cutting through the dark, it lives on, a monument to joy, a warning about time, and perhaps, just perhaps, a seed waiting for water. If you enjoyed this dusty drone tour of a water park that forgot how to be wet, give it a like. It's basically charity for abandoned slides. Subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss the next time we fly into something gloriously forgotten. Your feed deserves the drama. Thanks for sticking around. Let's keep the adventure rolling, dry or not.